Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out the Apex Travel Backpack from Troubadour, which is a carry-on friendly one-bag travel option that also offers the ability to expand. And I've had great experiences with other bags in the Apex lineup, as well as the company's Matrix backpack, which came out earlier this year. I really like the style and the quality of Troubadour's bags, so great to see them now bringing out a more travel-focused offering like the Apex Travel Bag. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use it over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the appearance here feels very much in line with Troubadour's other bags. So it's got a very modern, stylish appearance. I think this is the type of thing that'll look great for work travel. The more sophisticated and minimal vibe that Troubadour's bags have just look great with a nicer outfit, and I still think that it's gonna work well in a lot of different situations. As far as the materials, this feels really solidly built. The exterior is a recycled fabric that feels like it's gonna offer a nice amount of durability and weather resistance. Beyond that, you just have really solid components throughout the rest of the bag. You have some nice accenting on the zipper pulls at different points of the bag, and then the very smooth working YKK zippers. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that you have an external water bottle pocket. This is gonna offer a nice amount of capacity. It was able to handle my 26-ounce Yeti Rambler. You can see that that slides in there pretty comfortably. You have a good amount of elasticity and height, and when you're not using the pocket, that elasticity pulls it back closer to the bag to maintain a cleaner look. And then you have a great carrying handle at the top. It's got the same kind of style that we've seen on some other Troubadour bags, so it comes up a decent amount, feels well reinforced. And then you also have a handle on the side, so if you want to hold the bag next to you, you're going to have a couple of different ways that you can kind of maneuver the bag when you need to. And on the front, you do have the Troubadour logo, which is kind of down in the corner, so it blends in into the front of the bag. And then the last thing I'll mention while we're talking about the exterior is that I was able to stand this up when the bag was a little bit more loaded out. The structure of it is not super rigid, and so as you start to kind of shift the weight around, it can tend to tip a little bit, but for the most part, I was able to place it down next to me pretty consistently. Moving into the capacity, when the bag is compressed down, it comes in at about 32 or 33 liters, which to me is a really great one bag travel size. I was able to hold all the items that I would normally take with me on a 1 to 2 week trip, and it still felt like something that I could easily store in an overhead storage compartment. And I liked it because of the more kind of rounded and sleek silhouette of the bag. It never felt overwhelmingly bulky, which made it great for navigating crowded areas and jumping onto public transit. And then the bag also has the ability to expand out to 42 liters. So it's still gonna be carry-on friendly and give you that extra bit of capacity for longer trips, or if you happen to pick up some souvenirs while you're on the road. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. You have a decent amount of padding here, but it doesn't feel as rigid or robust as I would normally like to see for a bag of this size. You do have a nice soft material on the inside, and these straps have a decent width, although I would have liked to have seen them maybe be slightly wider, particularly when the bag was expanded and fully packed out. And then on the straps, you do have this really cool pocket here that you can use to hold something that you're grabbing more regularly. And this does have a little magnet to help keep it in place. And then you have a sternum strap with an interesting style buckle here. Very easy to get this on and off, still feels secure. And on the back, you also have a nice amount of padding. This one feels more robust. I really like how well distributed this is. I wish this same type of padding had actually been used on the shoulder straps. And then you have some good air channels here, elevation in the middle to provide some airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. And you also have a luggage pass-through so that you can rest this on a suitcase while traveling. Jumping into the organizational options, you have a couple of nice quick access pockets. Starting off on the front, you have a vertically oriented zipper, and I really like the height of this compartment as it will provide some extra flexibility with what you can store, and it still has a decent amount of volume. Currently I have my laptop charger and cables in here, so a USB-C hub, and that was able to fit in there comfortably. No other internal organization here, so could be a good spot for a notebook, tech pouch. And then above that, you have another zippered pocket. This one has this aqua guarded zipper here, and this is gonna provide a good amount of volume as well. You have a soft material here, so this will be good for anything that's a little bit more delicate. At the moment, I'm just using this to store my AirPods, but I could probably toss in an additional charging cable, maybe even some sunglasses, And then you have a little lanyard with a clip for your keys and a small pocket that you can use to store an AirTag. Above that, you have another quick access pocket. I really like the implementation here. You have a nice amount of volume in the pocket itself if you want to rest, some sunglasses in here, maybe a toiletry bag, liquids pouch, a packable jacket, and then you do have some built-in organization. So on the lid, you have a mesh zippered pocket. Really like the elastic material here, and that's gonna be able to hold something like my headlamp. I also have my suction cup mount for my phone, and then on the other side, I have a couple of slip pockets. One of them is holding my charging cable for my phone, my tablet, and my Apple Magic Mouse. All of those fit nicely. This is also a really nice feeling material. And then you have one more zippered pocket on the back that offers a good amount of space. At the moment, I'm just using this to store a Field Notes notebook. And then on the back, you have a dedicated laptop compartment. Again, well protected zipper here. And I like that because it's a separate compartment, it's easy to get to your device. And you're gonna have a good amount of space here for 15 or 16 inch laptop. Currently I have my 14-inch MacBook Pro, and you have a good amount of padding here along with a soft lining on the inside to help prevent against scratching. And this is also suspended off the bottom of the ground, so when you drop your laptop in there, it doesn't feel like it's making contact. And so taking my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. This does come up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device, it should be able to fit in here pretty comfortably. And again, with the amount of padding that's offered here, the lining, and the fact that this is suspended, it does feel like my device is going to be protected while I'm on the road. Moving into the main compartment, this does have a clamshell style opening, and the design here is such that it makes sense to rest the bag down on the front, and this compartment is lockable. So open this up so that you can have full visibility, and it'll make the bag very easy to pack out. And then you have a pretty large bucket of space basically that's gonna work very nicely with a pack and cube setup. So at the moment here, I have an extra pair of shoes in a pack and cube. I have a Peak Design pouch, a toiletry bag from Air, and then I have a large compressible pouch from Arkedo, as well as the medium compressible pouch from Peak Design. And even with all of those items, it never felt like the bag was exploding or overly packed out. And again, that's with the bag compressed down, but you do have this zipper that goes all the way around and expands it to 42 liters. And so when it's expanded, I can toss all of those things in there, as well as an additional packing cube. It would be great if I wanted to take an extra pair of shoes, a packable backpack. And so you just have more flexibility, which is really nice. And on the inside here, you do have some built-in organization, a couple of zippered mesh pockets on the side that'll be great for smaller items. You can maybe use it to store, some socks, underwear, toiletries, medicines. And then on the back, you have this interesting section that has this magnetic fidlock buckle. It's adjustable, and so this feels like something that you would use to separate out certain items or keep them secure. I, honestly wasn't quite sure what I would use this with my packing style, but I suppose it is nice to have some separation in this main area, particularly with the ability to tighten things down and save a little bit on space. And then on the lid for this main compartment, you have some additional zippered pockets, and these are gonna offer a nice amount of space with this meshy material that's provided here, so you can kind of see onto the inside. And I normally don't use these compartments that much, particularly with a travel bag, as I like to conserve all the space for the main compartment, but it is nice to have some options, particularly if you want to store something like a toiletry bag, some tech accessories. Here I have my alpaca admin pouch. Could fit in any of these just because this material is pretty flexible. Even something like this toiletry bag can fit in here. I wouldn't pack this way as it doesn't feel like the most optimal use of space, but for something flatter or for other clothing items that you want to actually pack in here instead of using the packing cubes, it's nice to have these options. I have another small one near the top, which again could be good to store sensitive documents, tech items that you didn't have room for in some of the other compartments. So you have a lot of different options with the layout that's provided here, and if you don't want to use them, they just stay out of the way. So I really like the implementation and the space offered in this main area, and just the design throughout the rest of the bag. Everything feels very well thought out. It's great to see Troubadour bringing its style to a more kind of travel focused one bag option. And if you like the aesthetic of Troubadour's bags and you're looking for something that's going to offer a nice amount of space, flexibility, and organization, this is going to be a really cool option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Apex Travel Backpack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on Troubadour's site. It's going to come in at around $330, which is definitely an investment. Troubadour's bags do tend to come in a more premium price range, and it does feel like, you're getting a very high quality bag that's going to offer a nice feature set, but there's going to be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Bellroy Transit Travel Pack Pro, which has the ability to expand as well. That one comes in at 30 liters when it's compressed down, and it can expand to 38 liters. So a really solid one bag travel option, very stylish bag with, a more subdued but still professional aesthetic, comfortable harness system. It's gonna offer a padded laptop sleeve, suitcase style opening. Bellroy's got a nice organizational layout. And so if you're looking for something that's got this type of a vibe, but in a different size, and that also has maybe a more robust harness system, that's gonna be a great one to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Peak Design Travel Backpack, which is one of the most popular one bag travel options. Really cool style on that one. It's got a techie, modern vibe, solid build quality, really great organizational layout, quick access pockets. You can access the main compartment from the sides, padded laptop sleeve, and then that one has the ability to expand or compress down depending on how you want to use it. It's got, a harness system that's going to have the built-in waist strap to give you that additional support. The straps on that one are pretty similar to the ones on this one. They're not the most robust, but they get the job done. And then it has the ability to open clamshell style for easy packing. And Peak Design, of course, has its great ecosystem of modular accessories. The bag also has really solid water bottle pockets. You can configure it with compression straps that you can attach to the front, to the bottom. So just lots of flexibility with how you can use it. And if you're looking for something, that's gonna be very versatile and rugged, that's gonna be a cool option to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention if you're looking for something in a slightly lower price range is the Half Day Roamer Backpack. I was really impressed with the features that bag offered for the price that it came in at. It offers a nice amount of space, comes in at about 30 liters, and it has the ability to expand out to give you some extra capacity. It's got a dedicated laptop compartment that's padded and suspended, pretty comfortable harness system with a luggage pass-through, good organizational layout. So it just checks off a lot of the same boxes as this one here. It's got, very stylish, more minimal appearance, and so it's gonna blend in nicely. It'll work well for work travel, and it's gonna be a little bit smaller than this, and the materials aren't gonna feel quite as premium, but again, if you're looking for something that's, gonna be a solid travel bag in a lower price range, then that's gonna be a great one to take a look at. With that being said, the Apex Travel Backpack holds up very well against all those options and is a great addition to the one bag travel category. It's gonna offer tons of style, a really nice organizational layout. It's nice that it has the flexible capacity, and if you're looking for, a versatile carry-on friendly bag, this is gonna be a really cool option to consider. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Apex Travel Backpack and how it compares to some of the other popular travel bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I wanna thank Troubadour for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.